Hey guys, alright, so I decided that it was about time to do another update video on the Farmstand. Um, those of you who don't know, who are new to the channel, or have basically just been checking out the channel, the Farmstand, okay, first of all, I'll go into this first. Who we are and what we're about, that kind of thing. We're Faith First Farm Homestead. There's one of the shirts that I've done. I'll stand up so you can see it. Faith First Farm and Homestead. Grow food, eat healthy. There's going to be a lot more designs on that. That's all part of our farm stand merchandise and what's going to be available to purchase on the Etsy store. Okay. So, again, we're Faith First Farm and Homestead. And we started out about almost 6 years ago. I actually started the channel almost 6 years ago. It'll be 6 years in May. That was also the year that I really started diving into gardening more. I did a little bit in 2018, but not a lot. I started getting into it more in like 2019. I didn't start the channel until then. Anyway, the reason I decided to get into homesteading is for no, I did not lose my train of thought. I'm trying to figure out how to. Okay. The reason we decided to get into homesteading was for complete self-sufficiency. Now, some of the books that I've read have stated, well, it's impossible to be completely self-sufficient. Wrong. I don't believe that. Why don't I believe that? Okay. Our ancestors, they were self-sufficient. They didn't rely on the grocery store to go buy their food. They grew and raised all of their food. Yes, they bought a few things from the store. Flour, sugar, coffee, tea, a few other things. But 99.9% of everything they did came from their own land. Came from their gardens, their orchards, wild berry bushes, wild strawberry patches, wild blueberry patches, animals they raised, their dairy cows. That's where they got their milk. In turn, that's where they got their cheese, their butter. They would sell a calf. They gave them some money. You usually put that right back into their property, into their land, into their home. They would buy fabric, make their own clothes. Some of them even went as far as they made their own yarn out of sheep's wool, out of sheep. Wow. Out of sheep's wool. So, is it possible to be completely self-sufficient in today's day and age? Yes, I believe it is. However, it's going to be more challenging because we're all so used to being able to just go to the store and get everything. It's a complete lifestyle change. And okay, I'm actually still struggling with changing my lifestyle to where I can go out there and get everything that we need off from our land. I know we can do it, but I'm a little overwhelmed at the moment because I know it's going to be a lot of work. We have a lot of cleanup to do. That's the part that's overwhelming for me right now. Alright, so back to us. So yes, I believe it's definitely possible to be perfectly, fully self-sufficient. However, today's day and age, takes a little bit more planning, a little bit more, putting certain things together to be able to do that. I have the beginning of our orchard. It's not like in a set specific area. They're kind of, we have a Honeycrisp apple tree. We have an Alberta peach tree. We have a nectarine tree. I don't remember what kind it is. We have those are doing exceptionally well. We have a Stanley plum tree that is also doing exceptionally well. We have 2 Eyre pear trees, one of which is doing really well. The other one got hacked into by people that were here on the land when I wasn't. We spent 2 years down in Oklahoma. And we also have a smaller Bartlett pear tree. We have blackberry bushes, we have black raspberry bushes, and they're like all scattered around right now. And I'm going to cut canes from those, and I'm going to put those in the specific place that I want them for our orchard. We also have boysenberry bushes, and I'm going to do the same with those. I have some elderberry bushes. Those are going to go on the inside perimeter of our medicinal garden. Okay, so, again, I started the channel back in 2019, and it was on my mom and dad's property, which is where we are right now. I was planning on using the barn, the old barn that's on the property. Unfortunately, that got destroyed. Not destroyed, but a couple people who were here at the time went on basically a rampage and cut out some of the center beams, the main supports in the barn. So it's going to have to be torn down, which is sad because it's been in my family forever. My grandparents owned this property for a long time. My grandpa kept the barns and the outbuildings up so well. So it's heartbreaking to me that I have to have that torn down. My parents have been gone, unfortunately, for almost 4.5 years. My mom, it's been 4.5 years. My dad, it's just been 4 years and a month. My mom died August 30th of 2020. My dad died February 9th of 2021. My mom died of congestive heart failure, and my dad died of prostate cancer. Only we did not know that at the time. Anyway, it's been really hard. And we had to leave for a while. There was just a really bad situation going on here, and I could have handled things differently, but I was basically in a panic and did what I felt I had to get us out of here and get our lives changed and going in the right direction. And again, we spent 2 years down in Oklahoma. We were going to build up a homestead on property down there a bit. A, it's too hot down there, and B, the job market sucks really bad. So we moved back up here in September. So anyway, so since we moved back up, so in 2020 and 2021, I had some really good gardens going. I have videos on the channel, some pretty good gardens. I got those fruit trees, which I was really excited about. I had 2 apple trees, one got destroyed. I had 2 cherry trees, those got destroyed. No idea how. At this point, I don't care how. I just want them replaced. And they're gonna get replaced. The person that destroyed them is gonna replace them. So, anyway, that's, it's in the past. They're gonna get replaced. That's it. But out in the backyard, where the fruit trees are, I decided, I think what I'm gonna do, I have an old raised bed garden area out there. I've got to clean it up. It's like overgrown. There's weeds, probably 6 foot tall out there. I mean, everything's dried down, obviously, because it's March. But I'm going to create basically a food forest out there. Now, the house is eventually just going to be Aaron's. My son. Sorry. I have 3 kids. My oldest, his name is Aaron, and he's 27, and he's always wanted the house and the property. And what I'm going to do once I finally get it transferred over to my name, which the things that were going on at the time, I could not think that far out to do it. I was just too worried about everything going on. But once I get the property transferred over to my name, I'm going to talk to him about, a split basically, and putting the 2 acres in Aaron's name, which has the house and the outbuildings on it. And he doesn't care if we use the old chicken coop. There's a chicken coop out there that I was using. We had chickens for about a year, and it was amazing. I love having farm fresh eggs. Can't wait till we get some more. But anyway, I'm gonna turn that area out there in the backyard that's attached to my mom and dad's house, which will be Aaron's, into a food forest. I'm gonna, revamp the old raised bed garden area. My strawberry beds are out there. I have these round, they're basically out of fabric raised beds. And I had 2 100-gallon ones, which are, pretty big. And they're about that deep. I had 2 of them like that. And then I had 2 smaller ones. I think they're only like 15-gallon ones. And I put the smaller ones on top, 1 each on top of the bigger ones. And I created strawberry bed out of it. Well, 2 of them. And I'm going to, redo that. I only have 1 plant left. One of my strawberry plants left out of all the ones I had. And I had 51 of them in there. So I'm going to have to get some more strawberry plants for those. I have a raised bed that I redid. I originally had a raised bed that I built out of some scrap wood. It looked really bad. And it was falling apart. So I tore it down, and then I redid the outer part of it with cinder blocks. So it's basically a permanent raised bed. So I've got that. I'm going to redo that. I had an old square foot garden out there. If you go back and you watch my garden tour video of 2020, I show the square foot garden. We got so much out of that garden that year. So much. I'm going to redo that area. I'm going to redo the herb beds that are out there. And in the rest of the yard, well, the area that I have, I think it's called Farmstead. What's new on the Farmstead in 2021 is where I was showing the fruit trees that I bought. I have 1 Honeycrisp apple tree planted in the middle of my raised bed garden bed area. That area, again, it's overgrown. I gotta clean it up. And once I do, I'm gonna make that into another raised bed garden area. And probably just buy some more of the fabric raised beds and, just put them out there. And just, that's gonna be kind of a fun little raised bed area. But, around the rest of the area out there, I'm gonna get 2 more cherry tree. Well, they're going to be replaced. $80. I don't have to spend it on my pocket. And the Brayburn apple tree, which got destroyed. And then, so there'll be those 3. And then we have the Honeycrisp apple tree, the Alberta peach tree, the nectarine tree, the 2 Eyre pear trees, the Bartlett pear tree. I'm going to get another Bartlett pear tree to make it to where the Eyre pear trees have enough of a pollinator. And then we have the Stanley plum tree. Now, I'm going to get, so there's 10. There'll be 10. But I'm going to get another, well, I have the seeds for cosmic apple trees. And I'm really hoping I can get them to grow up. But I wouldn't mind getting a couple of those. But I want to get a couple more apple trees. No. There's 2 out there. The backyard. Well, there'll be 2 out there. Because the Brayburn, that one's going to get planted out there too. The 2 cherry trees. And then I want to get another peach tree, another nectarine tree, another Stanley plum tree. Or, a different plum tree, whatever. And another Bartlett pear tree. And plant those. And then the 2 cherry trees. And basically create a food forest out there. Probably just, like with the fruit trees. And I have my first strawberry garden out there. I'm going to completely redo that. I had them growing in like these tires. And I'm going to pull all those out. And I'm going to redo that area. Get it right down to the ground. And I'm going to build up a raised bed. And plant what they call alpine strawberries in that bed. And there's 3 different colors. There's red ones, and these strawberries they're probably about like that, and they're kind of almost a bell or a heart shape kind of thing. More of like a heart-shaped strawberry, basically. But there's red alpine strawberries, there's yellow gold alpine strawberries, and they are yellow. They're like a pale yellow. And then there's white pineberry alpine strawberries. And these berries are about the same size, and they're white. So I want to, split that into 3 sections and do the red alpine in one section, the yellow gold in another one, and the white in the other one. I have a rhubarb patch out there. Again, there's the permanent raised bed that's out of the cinder blocks. There's the other 2 strawberry round beds that's going to have strawberries in it, and then, the other fruit trees. Now, if I can, I'll add to the fruit trees in that area. If I, let's see. I'm also going to get some more mulching paper. It's this brown, basically looks like paper that is used to make paper bags with, that kind of thing. Or brown wrapping paper kind of thing, it's what it looks like. But it's garden paper, basically. And I'm going to lay that down, and then I'm going to look into getting loads of wood chips. And it's probably got to be at least 2 feet, no, not 2 feet, about a foot deep on top of the brown paper. And you can use cardboard on top of it or underneath it. But I'm going to completely mulch back there. Or out there, that'll eliminate the whole lawn thing. And just turn that whole area into a food forest. And I'm going to revamp our old garden that was like to this next to our chicken coop. I might even just plant fruit trees right through there. And going up towards the side, which is off to the west of the house, where we have a camper trailer, and there's like a blank area in between where I was actually building a goat shelter, which is falling apart because we moved. But I think I'm going to use that. I might use that area and plant more fruit trees and just kind of, just the whole food forest kind of thing. Now, so that'll be a lot of fruit. But it's okay because we're going to be sharing with our church, with our community, with the Leslie Outreach, which is a food bank. And, we're just sharing with the community and that kind of thing. And we're going to have a farm stand. Now, the farm stand, the Faith First Farm and Homestead farm stand, is this. It is going to be the center of our income business as a homestead, as a business. It's the business part of our homestead. The physical business part of our homestead. And that is where we will have the whole setup once I get it built up. Right now it's just a table or two. I'm actually gonna have, this whole like building around. I'm gonna have to get a building permit for it eventually. But what I want to do is make it to where, people can walk in, and I want to kind of do that whole almost like greenhouse look to it kind of thing. People can walk in and we'll have produce from our gardens, produce, fruit from our fruit bushes, fruit trees, our t-shirts, our Faith First Farm and Homestead t-shirts for sale. We'll have jackets. I'll have jean jackets that I will have done, mugs and drinking glasses and shot glasses and wine glasses and even cutting boards. I do have a cutting board that I will show you. I did this one down in Oklahoma. We brought this one with us. I wish I would have brought the other one. But that's what the cutting board looks like. And I used metallic paints on that. There were metallic paint pens. But the cutting boards, I'll have to get like a paint sealer protector for those as well for wood. So they can actually be used, And I'll also probably have glass cutting boards that I will have painted. And I'll have to use a paint sealer on that as well as the glasses so they can be used. I might even go as far as to do insulated mugs. Buy plain ones and paint them and then do the sealer on it. I need to write that one down. But the business end of Faith First is going to be this. The Farmstand in and of itself is going to end up with a whole lot of things on it. And I mean a whole lot of things. I'm also in the process of creating a cookbook. It's going to cost me a bit to get those because I think I have to pay $10 per cookbook. Okay? It's probably going to cost me about $1,000 because I think I have to put in an order for 100 of them. So, I have to raise money up for that. Anyway, those aren't done yet. I still have a lot of recipes I want to put in them. I think I want to try to get up to at least... Now, I want to make sure there's a certain amount in each different category. So I'm going to have to go through one of these days and figure out what's... I haven't worked on that in a while. So the Farmstand. This is got a whole list of stuff here. So the Farmstand is going to consist of, eventually, like I said, I want it to be kind of like a greenhouse type building, but it's going to be a building. Right now it's just a table or two. But I want to do like a structure, and I want it to be, again, kind of like a greenhouse type structure, but a permanent one. So I'm going to have to get a building permit for that. But what is going to be available at the Farmstand is going to be this. And here we go. So, hold on, guys, because here we go. As I said, the Faith First Farm and Homestead t-shirts. And there's at least, I think I said 7 different designs right now. And they will all be available. Yep, 7 different designs. For now. They'll probably end up being more. And those are going to be available in the short sleeve t-shirts, the long sleeve t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, jean jackets, sweatshirt jackets, drinking glasses, mugs, which the mugs look like this. And these are actually part of something else. Now, I will be offering these on the farm stand, but these are also part of something else I got going on that I'm really hoping people start jumping at pretty soon. There'll also be shot glasses, and I'm going to create a Faith First Farm and Homestead ornaments at Christmas time. And those are going to be more like 10 for $20 or something like that. And I'm going to try to get a hold of some of those plain ceramic coasters. Like sets of them, at least, 40 a set. And I'm going to paint those. And there'll be not only Faith First ones with a Faith First logo on it, and then I'll seal it with the paint sealer. But there'll also be ones where I'm actually gonna, like paint scenes on paintings. We'll come to that in a minute. And the coasters will be for sale for a set of 4 for $15 or 8 for $27. And I say that because the painted coasters are gonna take more. The time that goes into them, especially the ones that have like the landscape scenes on them. Quilts. I have a quilt that I started down in Oklahoma. This is the second section of it. I need to get my more of my quilt block, more of my fabric, so I can. This is the first part or the second section. The first section is pretty big, so that's why I'm not getting that out. This is the second section. Once I get it done, which is going to take a bit, because the inside of it, I'm getting a natural cotton batting for the middle of it, for the center of it, and then a natural cotton backing for it. And it's all hand sewn. So the quilts are going to be anywhere from $100 to $1,500. Why? Okay. Because A, I'm buying all the fabric. B, I'm buying all the thread. And C, all the time. It takes a lot of time to do that, so definitely worth the money. Crocheted items. Okay, the quilts. Eventually, the quilts will be available in. I'll do baby quilts. I'll do a twin size, a double size, full size for full size bed, a queen size, and a king size. The king size ones are going to be the ones that are going to be probably about $1,500 because it's going to take a long time. A lot of fabric, a lot of money into it, especially the batting for the inside of it, and it's just going to take a lot. And they're basically like vintage type quilts because they're hand sewn. I'm gonna doing all this by hand. Time, I know. But that's why I'm saying that's why they're gonna be worth so much, because they take a lot of time to get them put together. Crocheted items. Now, I have right now did I put that somewhere else? I might have. What did I do with those? Okay, I think I know what it's gonna. I can't even. How many I took of them? All right. I think I started a box of Faith First merchandise. But I started crocheting dish rags. And they're about yay big. I have a video on it as well. Dish rags are gonna be like two for $4. I have 2 for $5 written here, but I'm gonna do 2 for $4 on those because those are like really nothing. I can sit down and do those in like a half hour, maybe a little bit longer, but not much. I mean, it's not. Blankets. I'm also willing to do crocheted blankets. However, those are gonna be. Now I have 75 to $500 written on those. That's about right because the yarn isn't going to cost as much as the fabric for the quilts. The fabric for the quilts is going to take a lot more. It's going to cost me a lot more than the yarn for the blankets. That's why they're so much less. But the quilts are going to be a lot warmer. So, the coasters. Now I am gonna do crocheted coasters. Those aren't gonna be anything as far as getting them done. All I need is I gotta find my hot glue gun, and like I can get the crafter's foam for the back of it, and I'm just gonna cut them to size and glue it on the back of them, and sell them in 4 to 8, and they're not gonna be that much, not as much as the other ones. I could do scarves, and they're going to be around probably $20, $15, $20. Homemade soaps. Now, I do not have my supplies yet. I had a bunch, and I had to throw them all away. Because what was left up here after we moved ended up with black mold in it. So, gotta start all over on that. But the homemade soaps, they're going to be like $5 each for a bar. And my bars are normal sized. They're like this. Your normal size soap bar. And they're going to be made out of, all clean ingredients. And yes, I will list the ingredients on the bars. You have to sell them, especially. And they'll be labeled. I'm going to do all the professional. I'm going to get a label printer for Faith First. And, print like the little ingredients and label things for them. Hi, honey. Come here. Come here, buddy. It's one of our babies. But one bar is going to be $5, and you can get 2 for $8. You'll be able to get 2 for $8. And if somebody wants a whole batch, which is about 20 bars, instead of being $100, I will charge $75 for a whole batch, just for a discount. Paintings. I do paintings. I will show you this one. It's the last one I did. That's the last painting I did. Now, I'm gonna try to keep. I've got to stock up on small canvases, like mini canvases, like this, and then the 4x6 size, and then 5x7s, maybe 8x10s as well. I got to stock up on those, and I will keep those on the farm stand. And as far as price goes, it depends on how long it took, paint, that kind of thing. If I use metallics, it's going to cost a little bit more because those are, they cost a little bit more to buy those. But yeah, there's going to be paintings for sale on the farm stand as well. Yes, the soaps will be available on the farm stand. My crocheted items. Once I have a quilt and a crocheted blanket to put on the farm stand, that will be available too. However, it will be in a zippered protected, case. And then they'll be for sale. And, I'll have it to where people can pay with a card. Because I'm going to get one of those square reader things to attach to my phone. I'm probably going to get an adding machine. And I'm going to have a cash box. So you'll be able to use cash, card, I don't think I'm going to take checks. Personal checks. There's too much that can go awry with them. And I really don't want to deal with personal checks. So that is going to be a downside. And I apologize for that ahead of time. I will take any kind of debit card, prepaid card, credit card, and cash. I mean, that's going to include Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Chime, any of those, net spend, whatever. And any, credit card, debit card for your bank, whatever. It'll be fine. And I'll make sure I have a sign stating that. Now, there'll also be, and as I was saying before, there'll be painted coasters, which will basically be like ceramic coasters, tile things. Those are going to be more pricey than the crocheted ones, because they're going to be like a lot more. Those are going to be like the 4 for $15, 8 for $27. The cutting boards, $35 to $40 is what the cutting boards are going to be worth, or what they're going to cost, because of the time and what I have to buy to actually make those. Now, some seasonal items. Plants. There will be elderberry cuttings. I could actually do those now. I have 3 cuttings started for myself. Now I can make the cuttings fairly small. But I would have to, you guys would have to communicate with me and leave a comment and be like, I'm interested in the elderberry cuttings. And they're organic, they're wild, they're basically wild. But I can do cuttings for you guys. I can't do a lot. I could do like 5 for like $12. I can exchange information on accepting payment online. Especially if you live in another state, obviously I can't, we can't do a personal contact. But if you're interested in the elderberry cuttings, please let me know, because I can do them. I will cut them, I will wrap them in moistened paper towel and plastic wrap. Put them in a Ziploc bag. No, probably not. Because I don't know if they should be sealed or not. I'll have to look into that one. Probably just wrap them in paper towel. I'll have to look into how they're packaged. Anyway, I'll make sure they're, sealed right for you or whatever, and mail them out. So, it's only going to cost you $12 for 5 of them. might only charge 10 for that. 5 for 10 for now. Once I have more elderberry bushes growing, then we can do, like more. But please let me know, because I can do those. Now, this spring, I've got to get the growing pots. Got to stock up on potting soil, that kind of thing. But this spring, there will be available on the farm stand, and I cannot mail these because these are going to be plants that are actually going to be growing in pots. So I can't mail these. I'm sorry. I apologize ahead of time. So, anybody that wants these, you're going to have to connect with somebody or something. It's going to have to be to where you can come and pick them up. Now, again, I have to get the growing pots. I have some, but I don't have a lot because a lot of the ones that I had got destroyed while we were gone, unfortunately. But I can get some more, and I will get some more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take and cut the blackberry, black raspberry, and I have to check into the red raspberry because I don't know if I have any mature red raspberry bushes growing.
Here's another helping me.
Sorry, you guys. I was trying to keep that from
Don't get to come to
shutting off completely.
They'll be.
Pause. Okay. Anyway, I don't know if I have any mature red raspberry bushes growing. If I do, and I'm not sure how I'm going to find out, because the area that I think they're in, I'm not sure how to figure it out, except for when they mature. So, the ones that will be available on the farm stand are going to be the blackberry, black raspberry, and boysenberry plants. Okay? Boysenberries get about that big, something like that. Kind of, about like that. About like that. And they're real close to a blackberry. They're really good. I was able to get some when we were down in Oklahoma because they were growing wild on the side of the road. I have boysenberry bushes planted. I planted two small ones. And they grew up and out and all over the place and took over that area. I want to do as many cuttings from them as possible, root them out, plant them. And I'm going to have those in our orchard, the new orchard, and then I want to do as many cuttings as possible. I'll sell those. They're going to be $15 a piece. Why? The blackberry, the black raspberry, and the boysenberry. I'm doing all the work myself, okay? I'm doing the cuttings, and I'm going to take and root them out. You got to get it to where the roots are about like that big, that long, and then you got to plant them. I'm going to plant them in a pot. Do everything, I have to get it to where they're about like that big. $15 a piece. They're going to be available at the farm stand here in Leslie, Michigan. So if you want some, you have to come out here to get them, but they'll be here. And I'm going to have to get on that soon. So I'm going to have to get the pots necessary to grow them. It's just one more thing. It's fine though. So that'll be the blackberry, black raspberry, and the boysenberry. We have a lot of blackberry bushes. We have a lot of wild black raspberry bushes, and we have a lot of boysenberry bushes. So, I'm going to try to make it to where I have at least 10 of each one. 10 blackberry plants, black raspberry plants, and 10 boysenberry plants growing at the farm stand for purchase. Again, they're going to be $15 a piece. So, I'm going to get on that soon, and I'll do a video when I, have the stuff and I can do it. I mean, those things obviously are seasonal. Once I have access to red raspberry bushes, mature ones, that I can do cuttings from, those will also be available at the farm stand. As well as fall gold and the purple majesty one, or the royal purple ones, and there's a crimson night, I think it's called, which I think I have to get those through gurneys. My grid that I have that I've literally gridded everything out in. Yep, they're called Crimson Night. And those are also raspberries. Once I have those, then I will, do cuttings from those. I mean, it's going to take a while, but I'm going to try to get all those bushes from gurneys. It's going to cost me a bit, I'm working on getting an online job because I'm having a difficult time with a job outside of the home right now. But, God will provide. So, fresh produce that's going to be available in the beginning, like once we start getting produce from the gardens, which I got to get my stupid. Once I start getting yeah, I need to get the materials to build up my raised beds because I don't want to do any in-ground gardening. Anyway, but obviously that's going to be seasonal. The fresh produce will be. Baked goods. I have to look into if there's any requirements for me to do like homemade breads, muffins, like jumbo muffins, regular muffins, mini muffins, cookies. Now I'm willing to do pies, but they're going to have to be made to order. So if you want a homemade pie and you don't want to try to make it yourself and you would like, to try a homemade pie made by Faith First Farm Homestead, you will have to contact me and be like, hey, this is what we want. And you'll have to, order it and tell me when you need it. And that, we'll go from there. Anyway. But that's kind of down the road, and those will be like 15, 20 bucks because I'll be buying the stuff to put into making it, And especially once we have like this spring, we'll have rhubarb out of our rhubarb patch. Not a lot, but some, Another seasonal thing will be candy boxes. Once I get an online job and start getting more money coming in, I'm going to start buying the ingredients for the candies for those. I plan on making in the shirt boxes, and I'm going to have to get another freezer. Now, our one that we have right now does not work, but the top of it's old and it's like caving in, it's like rusting. It's just like the top of it's not like through the top, not like through the door of it or anything. It's just like there's insulation. We got like a layer of insulation in between like the aluminum or whatever it is material that they use on the top and then the plastic underneath. Well, it's like down into the insulation. But I want to replace that freezer. And I want to make the, candy boxes and put them in the freezer. And they'll be fresh. That's not until later. Because that's for Christmas. Now, honey. We don't have bees yet. I will get them. I'm planning on it. I'd like to get them this spring. I'll have to get the kit, the hives. I want to have at least 4 hives. And I haven't done a lot of research on that, and I'm going to have to get into that and do a lot more research. So, once we do have fresh honey coming out of our own beehives, there will be that available on the farm stand as well. And I'll have, the labeled with Faith First Farm and Homestead honey. 1 pint will be $10 and a quart will be $15. I'm not going to be outrageous on it because I don't like paying outrageous prices for fresh, good honey. Jams and jellies. Those are going to be seasonal as well, obviously. A half pint, I'm only going to charge $3 for. And a pint, I'm only going to charge $5. Most of them will be half pint jars. About that big around, about that big. And there's all kinds of jams and jellies that I'll be able to do, like strawberry and blackberry and black raspberry and maybe red raspberry. I don't know. No, go away. Sorry, but no. Anyway, fall gold, raspberry. Once we have those, because those are going to be part of our orchard, and so on. There's a whole lot of different fruits that we're going to have in our orchard. One of the jellies that will be available on our farm stand is going to be lilac jelly. Lilacs, yes, they are edible. And we have a big lilac bush out here. Hopefully, nothing will kill the lilacs so I can get a whole bunch of them picked and make a whole bunch of it. It actually turned out really good. Even my mom liked it. So she was very skeptical because it's a flower. Will you get out of here? You're not going out there right now. But yeah. So that turned out really good. I guess it's strawberry and this is a good time to actually go into the fruits and stuff that I'm planning on having in the orchard. Well, apples, I'll be able to make like apple jelly, maybe even some apple juice. I might be able to sell the apple juice. I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I'll have to look into it for the jams and jellies too. Pears, peaches. Now I can also make like a sauce out of it, like pear sauce, like your apple sauce. And that's another thing I can do. Is I'll have to find out the requirements for that. But I make really, but I learned how to make applesauce really good. I can make a really good cinnamon applesauce. And you do not need to add sugar to it because the apples are sweet enough. I also plan... Cat, I'm gonna... Will you get out of here? You're not going out there right now. And you're gonna knock this crap off. Don't make me put you in the carrier right now. Just because you're being stupid. Anyway. But you can also make a pear sauce, like your applesauce as well. And if I can get the other Bartlett pear tree, we might have pears, I don't know. Peaches, so like peach jam, peach preserves, that kind of thing. Cherries, I get my cherry trees again because they were ruined by my ex and his friends that were here. They're being replaced. But I plan on having Rainier cherries and sweet cherries. Rainier cherries, they are sweet cherry. They're kind of like a yellow, and they have like a reddish orange kind of mix to them, but they're really good, really really good. One of my favorites. And then tart cherries for like pie filling. And if we get enough of those, I can even can some of that and sell it on the farm stand. Plums, and you can do like plum preserves, plum jellies, you know, apricots, nectarines. The apricot trees, I need to get some of those, and I actually forgot about those. So I'd like to get a couple of those and put those out here in the food forest area as well. And then grapes. Definitely plan on getting red grapes, the green grapes, the Concord, the purple Concord grapes, the black grapes, and there's even a pink grapes. And then I'm gonna have to look into where to get those from. I might have to get them from Gurney's. But they'll be like jam and jelly, and I'll definitely be making homemade grape juice. My mom used to make it, and oh my goodness, it was so good. I don't know if we'll be able to sell it on the farm stand. I'll have to look into that. Now, one of the things that I'm going to have in our greenhouse is going to be a fig tree. At least one or two. That's down the road. I have to, wait till I can get those. Now, I don't know if Andrew, our friend that still lives down in Oklahoma, that's living in the trailer that we lived in down there, I don't know if he has any live ones anymore. I'm going to ask him and tell him I'd be willing to pay him for a couple of those trees. But I tell him either you have to mail them up or you have to come up here. And he does want to help us out. And he was planning on moving up to Michigan, but he couldn't leave at the same time we did. So, and then mulberries. We have 2 mulberry trees. One I have to do a couple things to get it to fruit again, but I should be able to. The other one is on the side of our barn, and I'm hoping that will still fruit. That's another one, that you can do jams and jellies and, other things out of. And then there's another berry called a Marion berry, and it's just like almost like a big blackberry kind of thing. But the berry bush part of our orchard is going to include blackberries, black raspberries, red raspberries, fall gold raspberries, crimson night raspberries, royal purple raspberries. And yes, eventually there'll be stuff, if I can work it out, available on the farm stand from all of those. Jams, jellies, that kind of thing. And then blueberries. I love blueberries. I had a good blueberry bush, and I think it got choked out. Aronia berries. It's kind of like a blueberry. They're a little bit blacker in color than a blueberry, but they're also higher in antioxidants and, much higher on the healthy meter, I guess. More of a super type food berry. There's also pink lemonade berries, blueberries, and I really want to get some of those. And then there's something called honeyberries, and they look like long, elongated grapes. So this would be really good. And then there's scarlet goji berries, black goji berries, and those are like a super type fruit. Huckleberries, black currants, and then there's red currants, white currants. There's also bush cherries, and I want to get some of them. And then gooseberries and boysenberries, I have a lot of those. And then I want to get, there's a red gooseberry. And then there's something called Nanking cherry, and it's a bush cherry as well. But I want to get some of those. And then there's something called Legion berries. And that's kind of more like they're closer to a big blackberry type thing. So, and the only reason I went over that is because, that's going to be part of the farm stand. So, anyway, and then another seasonal thing is going to be dried herbs from our own herb gardens. And they'll be in like little quarter size pint jars, the ones that are about that big. And those will be available. They'll be about $5. And that's because, I will have grown them myself. And then farm fresh eggs, which will be about $3.50 a dozen from our own chickens. And then We will have ducks. And once I start getting duck eggs, those are going to be more expensive. Probably $5 for a half dozen for 6 of them. And about 10 for a dozen. I might charge like 8 for the dozen. Anyway, then there'll be more hand sewn items on the farm stand. I need to find my old denim and stuff that I've had here, wash it, and then I want to make hand sewn denim aprons. Like cooking aprons, and I want to do garden aprons. Like they have like a pocket in front for collecting harvest time, or in like do the ones that have like the little smaller pockets, egg pockets for egg collecting, and then our cookbooks. Once I get those done and actually order them, and it's through a company called Morris Cookbooks. But once I get them done and I get them ordered, I'm going to be charging about $15 to $20 for them because I'm going to have to make my money back. Because I'll be putting in at least $1,000 to put the first order in. So I'm going to have to charge at least $15 to $20. So, pumpkins, those are going to be another seasonal thing, and those are going to be about $5. And I'm planning on growing, trying to grow like the bigger pumpkins, the white ones as well, and the lighter blue colored ones. So I'm going to try to go for some of the different ones. Jewelry, that's going to be something my daughter wants to get into. So, that money will go to her for her part of the homestead. And there will be order forms for farm babies. For chicks. Because eventually, this probably won't happen until next year. But eventually, I'm going to be hatching, making it to where I'm going to try to set it up to where our hens will hatch their own eggs, some of their own eggs. And, we'll have our own chicks and we can sell those. And I'll be selling those for $5 a piece. And we're going to have, again, this part of it is going to be Chloe's part, not the chicks, but rabbits. For baby bunnies, selling the baby bunnies. And those are going to be like anywhere from $5 to $25 a piece, depending on the breed. Quail. We will have quail, and I will be selling the babies from those. And maybe quail eggs, depending on how many we get. Goats. Kids. Baby goats. I'm willing to sell baby goats. Those are going to be, I have to look into what other people are asking for them. Because I think my prices are a little too low. I might go up as high as about $250 a piece. So, we'll see on that. Goats are probably going to be something that I'm going to get fairly quickly. So, I'm going to have to figure something out as far as a shelter goes. And fencing. Because I really want to get going on the farm. And they would also be very helpful in cleaning up the high weeds and stuff, which is another reason I really want to get them. I already covered the boysenberry plants. Oh. Another thing I need to mention, the farm babies, the chicks, the baby bunnies, the quail babies, the baby goats, possibly down the road, baby guineas, baby turkeys maybe. Those are all going to be something, you'll be able to go online and fill out an order form for those once I get my website up, okay? Which I haven't had time to work on, but eventually I will get it up. However, farm babies, you have to come to the farm to pick them up. You absolutely have to come to Faith First Farm Homestead to pick up your farm babies. Period. I will not mail farm babies. Not even chicks. I don't like that idea. Not doing it. I refuse. Nope, I will not do it. So, you absolutely have to come to Faith First to pick them up. You can fill out an order form, you can pay for them, but you have to come to the farm and pick them up. Period. So, there's that. And if you live out of state, and you can order, like, for the next year or whatever, but then you plan a trip to Michigan to come and pick them up. Because I'm not. No. And something like baby goats, you can't mail them anyway. And I don't have a way to deliver them, and I'm not driving out of state for that. It's not going to happen. So, sorry about that, but I can't do that. So you will absolutely have to come to the farm to pick up your farm babies. Okay, I already covered the boysenberry plants, strawberry plants. Those are going to be from the strawberry runners, which you get a lot of them, and I'm going to have to keep on top of that like probably 3 times a week. But the runners I'm going to take and I'm going to get them set. I'm going to set them in a little pot of potting soil, little ones about like that big, which I'm going to order a bunch more. I have a package, but it's going to take a whole lot more. And I'm going to get them to root and grow in that. So it's, individual plant. And those are going to be, the regular strawberries are going to be like $2 a piece. The alpine ones are going to be probably $3 to $5 a piece. Because those are more, I almost wanted to say exotic, but they're just not as popular. They're not as it's not the right word either. They're not as plentiful, I guess. It's getting more and more to where you can order seeds for them. So anyway, watermelon rind pickles. Guys probably haven't heard a lot of those. I actually have some watermelon rind watermelon rind refrigerator pickles that I did. That's weird. Susan, what are you thinking? They're really good. What you do, I cut up the watermelon. I cut the watermelon part out of the rind. I chunk that up and just put it in a bowl, container, whatever. And then I cut up the watermelon rind into squares, probably like that. And then you cut the hard green part off and you save the white, light pink part. And just keep doing that until it's done. And then I have my recipes and I make watermelon rind pickles out of them and can them. And they turn out really, really good. I learned it from my grandma. She used to make them. They're awesome. They're so good. Alright. Cement crafts. I'm going to start collecting up on little things to do for that. You can make all kinds of things, and those are going to be at the farm stand. Oh, shoot, I look down in a different spot. Whoops. Anyway, watermelon rind pickles are going to be at $5 for a pint. And those are going to be on the farm stand as well. I usually end up with a ton of them because I'm always getting watermelon. And I'm always making watermelon rind pickles. So those will always be available at the farm stand. Pickles, I'm probably going to end up with a ton of those as well. And those are going to be $3 for a pint. And I'm always, kind of looking at different recipes for pickles and that kind of thing. So you're going to be getting something different, I've done a really good bread and butter pickle. So there'll be those on the farm stand as well. That'll be about $3. Now, one of the things that we're going to do at Faith First is we're going to have a garden section that we're going to let go to seed. Why? Okay. The reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to be creating survival seed packages. Sorry. I'm going to be creating survival seed packages. And I'm going to be getting the little tiny Ziploc bags. And I'm going to put together these survival seed packages. And those are going to be available at the farm stand. I don't know how much I'm going to charge for them yet because I don't know what all is going to be in it. It just depends on what we have, what seeds I've been able to put together out of our own garden, and it's going to be seeds out of stuff we've grown. Okay? Like tomatoes that come out of our garden, I'll put together seed packages for us, for like the next year. And then I'll save like seeds out of tomatoes from our garden, and I'll make sure they're labeled and everything so I know what's what. And those will go in survival packages. Seeds out of vegetable spaghetti squash, butternut squash, zucchini, cucumbers, lemon cucumbers, the white cucumbers, which we're going to have those. Our pumpkins, the watermelon, all kinds of things. I'm going to be putting these together, and that's why I don't know how much I'm going to charge for them, because it's going to depend on what's going to be in it. Obviously, that's down the road because that's a harvest time thing. And I'm hoping I can have that specific area set up to where, we can let that happen, where we can get the seeds from the plants. Wood burned items, again, that's part of my daughter's part of it. She does wood burning, and that money is going to go to her for her part of the homestead and whatever she wants. Cement crafts. I started to mention this. There's a whole bunch of different things you can do, and we'll start out small, and I will paint them, and there'll be a little more. There's bigger things you can do, but I'll probably have to do kind of a made to order kind of thing on those, Anyway, fruit tree seedlings. Okay, and on the cement crafts, I don't know exactly what I'm going to charge for what, because I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do on those yet. I'm just going to kind of play around with that and then figure it out. Because there'll be the cement that went into it, the time making it, and then the paint, and the time painting it. So, we'll just have to see. Anyway, fruit tree seedlings. I am going to gather up seeds for fruit trees. Apple trees is probably going to be a big one.
They'll be plenty.
I'm going to grow them up to where they get about 6 to 8 inches high. And then those are going to be about $8 a piece. 6 months, which will probably be about 16 inches, something like that. Those will be $15. And those will be in pots. Now, yearlings, which will be probably about 3 feet high, those are going to be $25. 2-year trees, if we don't sell them and, just continue to grow, 45. So. And, it's going to be the time put into that. And I'm going to try to have, like a whole different, bunch of different ones, hopefully peach and plum and nectarine eventually. Definitely apple, because those are not hard to grow. Cherry, I'm hoping, I'm going to try to add to that section like every year. But, so you'll be able to get fruit tree, seedlings, saplings at our farm stand as well. Homestead journal. I'm still working on this. I haven't done anything with it in a long time. I'm going to have to set aside a day, or part of a day, or whatever, to get to work on it again. But I'm planning on, you can look up a whole bunch of different types of homestead journal binders, record keeping, whatever. I'm putting together one that includes everything. Now, I will be using my own ink out of my own printer, my own paper that I buy to print them. I will be purchasing the binder and putting it together. I might even go as far as to put page protectors in it to protect the pages. Now, because I'm putting the money into it and what it's going to take, what it's going to cost to like print it out and that kind of thing, a physical binder is going to cost a lot more. And I'm going to try to make it to where it's available as a PDF download off from our website. I don't have our website up and going. That's down the road because I haven't even had time to think about it hardly. But I'm going to try to get the binder done to where I have at least one or two put on the farm stand. I will have to charge at least $100 for that binder. Maybe $150. It just depends on how much it costs me for the ink, the paper, the binder, and the page protectors. The ink alone is probably going to cost me about $70-$80. So, you got to figure the paper, and which, I want it to be decent paper, so I'm not going to just buy real thin, crappy printer paper. And then the binder, those binders, it's going to have to be at least the 2-inch binder, and those can run about $6. So, page protectors, it's going to take a lot of those, so if I decide to get those. So it just depends on how much those cost as well. I may have to be able to make a little bit of money off from it. So if it's going to cost too much to get the page protectors, then I won't get that. I will have to get the dividers for the binder. I don't have to, but I will. Now, I can pay $1 for a 5-count package at Dollar General. I need to buy a bunch of them anyway, but I can use those. So, I'm going to try to get it to where by this summer, there's at least 1 or 2 of those available at the farm stand. And it is going to include all of your animal record keeping, like for individual, not just farm animals. We're talking, there's going to be a section for cows, a section for horses, a section for rabbits, for chickens, for quail, for goats, sheep, pigs, turkeys. I might add that kind of into the chicken section. But all that's going to be included. So, and there's going to be your whole gardening journal section, and growing and being able to keep track of what seeds were planted and when they come up, and the time, the watering and the care and the mulching and like just all of that. It's going to be there. So you'll be able to keep track of literally your entire homestead. And like even greenhouse and um, orchard care, like your fruit trees, fruit bushes, the different types, the different care for them, the fertilizers, I might even throw in a composting section on, what you're putting into your compost, how often you're turning it, whether it's a hot compost, a cold compost, just all of that. It's all going to be there. So this is why it's taken me so long to do this, because I'm trying to include everything to make it where it's all in one spot. That's why. But yeah, that's going to be probably about $150 on the Farmstand. The PDF download is going to be less, but probably no less than anywhere between $75 and $100 because so much time went into putting it together. So, anyway. Another seasonal item, Christmas decorations. So, they're going to be like to where you could buy like 10 or 20 of them for, it's not going to be that much. Finished diamond paintings. I'm working on a diamond painting. I'm going to collect up on diamond paintings. That's going to have to be a thing that I'm just working on the side because it takes a while to get those done. Eventually, we'll have these books where you can buy a bunch of diamond paintings displayed in the book. So, I'll have it to where you can buy the individual diamond paintings of your choice for a certain amount, or you can purchase the whole book for a certain amount. So, anyway. Beeswax candles. I don't have bees right now, so I'm planning on buying the beeswax to do this. So I'll have to figure that in. But I will get the molds yeah, that won't be hard to do. But I'll get, like the glass holders, whatever, for them. And I'll have to figure that in, of course. And those will be available on the Farmstand as well. And depending on how big they are, they're going to be anywhere from $5 to $75. I mean, $75 is going to be like pretty big, but clocks. There will be. I'm planning on getting these wood slices that are probably about like this big, about that thick. And mine, I'm gonna have two different sets of them. One set is gonna have the Faith First Farm and Homestead in the whole painting logo thing on it, and I'm gonna make those into a clock. And I'm gonna make it to where there's a section, in the middle or whatever, to where I can have it drilled out. I'll have it drilled out first before I do the painting, and then I'll paint it, and then I'll put the clock mechanism in it. Bandit, no. Because no one's out there. Go away. Behave. No! Sorry. He gets in trouble when he's out there by himself. And then he goes over there and starts yowling. It's because he's a brat.
There'll be plenty of my things.
Okay. Anyway. The other set, or the other types of wood slice clocks that we're going to have available are, I'm going to take and I'm going to actually do landscape paintings on them and make those into clocks. Those are going to be probably about $50 a piece, if not more, because those are going to be very time consuming. And yeah, and I'm going to get an etching kit, and I'm going to get these small mirrors, that, and I'm going to do etched mirrors. And those, I mean, depending on how big the mirror is, they're going to be anywhere between $10 to $40 a piece. So that's basically it for the farm stand. I have a few more ideas for it. There's going to be yeah, there's gonna be... I have a few more ideas for the farm stand that I haven't written down, but that's, kind of it in a nutshell right there. I know this video is kind of longer, but I wanted to go into detail more and let you guys know, what all we have planned as far as the farm stand goes. And this is going to be a lot of the business side of Faith First. That's a lot of merchandise, I know. Now, the other thing... Oh. I am tired. Sorry, guys. Oh, the Etsy store. This is also like basically all of that merchandise. Most of that merchandise is going to be available in the Etsy store as well. I have not gotten that up and going yet. I have to actually get more stuff to actually create my merchandise first. But the Etsy store is going to consist of basically everything that I listed off, except for the plants, the farm babies. You'll be able to purchase the binders, the homesteading journal binders on the Etsy store. I will not ship large plants. So the boysenberry, the blackberry, and the black raspberry, the plants that are, I won't ship those. I just won't do it. Because I don't want to take a chance of getting screwed up. Bandit, no. I said no. You're not going out there because you get in trouble out there. Wait. Excuse me. Get out. It's on my art table. Anyway, so. But the Etsy store is gonna be, all the glassware that we talked about, the shirts, the sweatshirts, the jackets, the yarn, the crocheted stuff, the quilts, the the sewn, sorry, you guys, I'm getting tired. The hand sewn items, my paintings, that kind of thing, the mirrors, the soaps, that pretty much everything is going to be available on the Etsy store with the exception of just a few things. Like, I'm even willing to ship the watermelon rind pickles, the jams and jellies. I'm willing to ship the honey. I'm willing to ship pretty much everything except for the farm babies and the plants. And I don't think I'm gonna try to ship the strawberry plants either because they're gonna be actual plants, not bare root. I'm just not. The elderberry cutting is just a different story. So I can ship those, but again, it's gonna be seasonal. The candy boxes, I can ship those. I'll just, instead of in big boxes, they'll be in tins. Sealed tins. So, you know. But as far as, like everything else, I'm willing to ship everything else. I'm not shipping eggs. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. So that's something else. It will not be available in the Etsy store. The dried herbs, in the little quarter pint jars, I'll be willing to ship those. Baked goods, sure. I'm willing to ship like the breads, muffins, that kind of thing. I'll individually seal them. I'm not shipping a pie. Sorry. I'm just not gonna do it. That's gonna be the one thing I'm not doing. Cookies. I'm I'm gonna get a vacuum sealer. So with cookies, I could do that. So yeah, I can ship cookies. Um, so I can even do that. Now on our website, there'll be the order form for the farm babies and the plants. But once again, you guys will have to come to Faith First to pick them up. Don't start it, cat. He's annoying. Anyway, so that's it in a nutshell. On the business end of Faith First and what we're doing. We have all kinds of things going on. And yeah, I have my work cut out for me because we're in the building up part of building up the farm. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to take a bit. But we're diving in headlong and we're going to get it done. So, anyway, so that's what's going to be available. The farm stand is going to have all kinds of goodies on it. There'll be more and more available as I go. Right now, again, the farm stand is basically just a table or two. It's eventually going to be a structure, more like a greenhouse type thing, but it's going to be where people can come in and. But I'm going to register Faith First Farm and Homestead as a business, so I can actually do that. So anyway, it's going to have a whole bunch of different goodies available, and there's going to be more added all the time. But what is going to be available soon, actually... Bandit, you are a pain in the rear end. Can you get out of there? You are not going out there right now. Anyway, the dish rags that I have available, I have one shirt available. So, I'm going to be working on the other ones, and I'm going to be getting like more glasses and that kind of thing to do, and just need to get the paint sealer. More things are going to happen as we go, so. Anyway, so that's what we got going on, and I hope you guys, that are close enough will take the time to come out and look around. Once I actually announce that the farm stand, hey, it's open, this is what we got right now. Come check it out. I hope you guys will take the time to come out and check it out. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off from here because this video is like an hour and a half, and I didn't expect it to be that long. Damn it. Bandit, no! I said no. Such a brat. Like I said, he gets in trouble out there when he's out there by himself. Anyway, so, again, that's what we got going on, and I really hope you guys will take the time to come out and check out our farm stand. So, leave a comment. Let me know if you're interested in let me rephrase that. I want everybody to get the new subscriber package. Everyone. Okay, my computer's being stupid now. To delete some more videos that are on my computer. Anyway, leave a comment. Just say new subscriber package and leave your email. And we'll cover like the designs and that kind of thing through an email. But just leave a comment, say new subscriber package, and then leave your email. And we'll go from there. And I will see you guys in the next video. You guys have a good night, and I'll try to get some more videos in. This is going to take a while to upload, and I will see you guys in a bit. You guys do your research. Check your subscriptions. Make sure you're still subscribed. Click on that notification bell and click on all to make sure you get all the notifications. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.